Hi, I'm Zine Lafontaine of the Sensual Revolution, and I want to welcome you to the first iteration of your Luscious Monday Motivation, where I'm going to be offering juicy tantric bites that breathe big magic into your body, into your heart, and into your mission. So every week, as of today, you'll be able to find me here where I will be sharing concepts or meditations, or they might be body movements or ways to breathe, all with a goal of really awakening and enlivening your body, bringing a great big fire to your heart, and really sparking that energy in your mission in the world. So today we've got a great big topic, so let's begin. In my coaching practice, I use a tool with clients where we begin to really examine what it is that you desire most. So we really establish a very clear desire that you want. And then we start to look at some of the elements that can start to come in the way, some of the resistance or the pieces that become challenging as you move forward towards those desires. Now, when we speak about acceptance and love, this is the perfect opportunity to start sending a lot more acceptance, a lot more loving and more nurturing energy towards those parts of us that we're not always in agreement with. Now, of course, if we desire something and something that we do inside gets in the way, it's easy to get mad at ourselves, right? It's easy to start judging for why can't I do this? Or I should be better at this by now, or I should understand this. And so this is the perfect opportunity to start bringing more love to ourselves. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of an example from my own life so that you really get an understanding of what I'm speaking of for this week's practice. When I travel or whenever there's something that occurs where it is something scary that's going to happen, something I know is going to be quite transformative. So very recently, I went to a tantric festival in Thailand, and right before leaving, I knew my nerves started acting up, my anxiety started acting up, especially right before getting on the flight. So right before getting in a flight, it's not that I don't like flying, but I really don't like being contained into a small cabin for a long amount of hours. And so I will sometimes get a bit of a panic before entering. And now this is the perfect situation, right? I'm looking forward to going to this festival, to having this transformational experience. I was going with my husband. We were celebrating 20 years together. It's all beautiful, fantastic, powerful, fiery, love. And my anxiety strikes up. So it's this part of me inside that is like, that's terrifying, that's scary, all those things that are happening, pulling me back. And there was a time when I would get really angry and wonder, I've been doing personal development for over 20 years. I should be, better at this. I should be okay with this part, and getting really frustrated with the anxiety. And this is what happens, is that when we start to self-judge or start to dislike that part inside, it creates a tension. And so when this resistance arises, which is basically a protective mechanism to keep us safe, we are getting mad at it, and all it does is that it resists even more. There's even more tension that arises. It doesn't help it soften in any way. It actually makes it worse. And so with the practice of loving, it helps to really soften the core, to really bring it into a more gentle space, a more breathable, nurturing space, so that over time it relaxes more. And so I've adopted a few tools for myself when I get into these situations now, where, if I catch myself, sometimes I'll still catch myself in the why can't I get this? And I go, okay, you know what? I know what this is. And so I move in and I nurture, and I send love, and I send safety. And it really does help the situation tremendously. And there's something a little bit tricky about acceptance and love here, because we can encounter situations, for example, I'm going to give another example, where if you are wanting something, let's say you're asking a friend for a favor and they don't want to do it, they can't do it, and this really angers you, and you have a reaction, let's say. And you start to get angry at yourself for having reacted. You're like, oh no, I have a reaction. this is not good, and you start feeling kind of ashamed about the fact that you reacted, maybe more, maybe you were a little too much in that moment for yourself. And what happens when we place fake acceptance on top? So this is what I'm talking about, where we have to be a little bit mindful of this putting of fake acceptance or love on top as a layer. Whereas if we start to say, oh, but you know what? It's okay. The universe has got my back, and everything's fine. I'm fine for reacting. Well, I'm allowed to react the way that I want to react. But if underneath the surface there's shame and there is anger at yourself, then planking on a layer of acceptance and love is not actually going to help. It's going to create a separation inside and even more of a fight and tension. So this is where we get into some of the bypassing examples that you may have heard of. And what we want to do is get to the truth. So if the part of you is getting angry, allow that anger to be there. Allow yourself to feel the anger, and then see, is there a part of you inside that can reach that acceptance? Is there an empowered part inside that can say, okay, I understand. Yes, there's part of me that's annoyed, and I get that this is a protective mechanism, and I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to send you love. I'm going to send you safety, and I accept that you are the way that you are. And that is different, right? You can sense the difference between this sort of plankton layer of, well, things are okay and the universe has my back, versus I'm going to hold this part of me that is still in resistance, that is still having anxiety, that is still having those reactions and that anger. And then what happens if you can't find that love and that acceptance inside yourself? Well, guess what? You're still okay. There's always a way. All you have to do is take one step back, go up a level, and send acceptance and love to that part of you that can't quite have acceptance and love right now for that anger. So we go up one layer, we soften that part of us that is just, I can't find that acceptance and love. It's okay. I'm going to love myself for not being able to find that acceptance and that love right now. And that's step one. And then over time, as you practice, as you keep coming back to this practice of love and acceptance, that will soften and it will get down to the other layer, and you will be able to reach it more and more and more. So I'm going to invite you into a little practice now that is really going to demonstrate and showcase what I'm speaking about. So if you are listening to the audio and you're driving, please pause the audio right now so that you can wait until there is a time and moment where you can close your eyes and really be with yourself, because we don't want to be causing accidents. So for the rest of you, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and place your hands over your heart. So I'm going to try and not touch my microphone here. And take a few deep breaths in your heart. With your mouth open, and really focus on an energy of love in your heart. Really let that energy expand and expand in your heart. Feel it radiate beyond the surface of your body. And now we're going to shower our body with this love. So you're going to send that ball of energy down to your feet, still breathing. Smile and love your feet. Bring that ball of energy up to your legs. Smile and send love to your legs. And now you're going to bring that ball of energy to your genitals, your pelvis. Send love and smile to this whole area of your body. And now bring this ball of energy up to your lower belly. Smile and bring lots of love to this area of your body. back to the heart. Expand that love, expand that ball of energy. Move up into your head, your face, your ears. Expand that ball of love and acceptance in your head. And now let that whole energy shower down inside your body, all the way back down to your feet. Come back to a normal breath. Beautiful. So not only is this practice intended to really give your whole body a beautiful shower of love and smiling and acceptance, but it was also created with the intention that it's possible that you may have encountered some resistance as you went through this practice. So maybe when I asked you to breathe into your heart, you didn't feel so much love there, or you couldn't feel the heart. Or maybe when I asked you to move the ball of energy to other parts of your body, you couldn't visualize this or feel it. Or maybe something else arose. Maybe there were some parts of you that were much more full sensory and others where you really didn't feel very much. And you know what? All of these things are okay. This was an example to really bring in this concept of acceptance. So what happened when this resistance arose? So when you didn't feel something, or when you felt too much, or when you couldn't visualize, what happened? Did you contract? Did you start saying, why can't I do this? Did you notice how your reaction comes into play? And now I'm going to ask you, whatever did occur, is there a part of you that can accept this part of you that was just angered at this, that was just not working this out in this moment? And remember, if there isn't, if you really can't accept this part of you, it's okay. Go up one level. Can you accept this part of you that is not able to accept it right now? And send love. Yeah, it gets a little easier when we go up a level, right? And to those of you who were able to feel it, who were able to visualize, enjoy this practice. So what I'm going to recommend is that for this week, catch yourself in your resistance or in your self-judgment. If something happens where you react and you find yourself contracting afterwards, or if you don't get something you desire, or whatever may occur, any kind of trigger or resistance, practice this exercise of bringing love to this part of you that's resisting. And if it's not possible, that part of you that is having the reaction to that resistance. And just, there's always a way to bring more love and more acceptance into our body, our physical body, into our life circumstances, and really to ourselves. And having that will help things move, will help things awaken and enliven a lot more. So this is your practice for this week. I wish you a beautiful practice. I invite you to return next week as we will be talking about grounding and presence, which is really, really important for all the aspects of our heart, our body, and our mission. And I invite you to download my free Ignite Your Desire audio on the Let's Get Sensual link in my profile if you're on Instagram, or below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. And I am Zina Fontaine of The Sensual Revolution. My motto really is: a conscious, alive, and ignited soul creates a conscious, alive, and ignited world. So let's start doing something really great with our mission, with our body, with our hearts, and with the world as a whole. I wish you lots of love and sexy vibrations all over, and I'll see you next week.